We're on. This sermon, and I've got to time it, so it should be over by midday, 12 noon it'll be over on my watch. But this sermon is a very difficult one to preach, and I stand here this morning completely unworthy to preach this sermon. I'm kind of unworthy to preach, well, we're all unworthy, but this one particularly, because it's all about being a nailed on 100% disciple of Jesus Christ. And what we're going to hear is not easy. It's not easy words. And who am I to preach them? You could probably, once I preach them, you'd probably think, well, Tony's not doing that. Probably isn't. But I'd just like to think I'm on a journey in that direction. And I hope that by the end of it, we're all on a journey in that direction too. That's the way we're looking at it. So, buckle your seatbelts. But this is particularly hard teaching, and it's all about being a disciple. And actually, we'll put the first one up before I start reading, because the first one, this is what I thought about when I thought about this. Jesus actually, did you know Jesus had groupies? Did you say, yeah, I'm a Jesus groupie? I didn't realise that until last week, and I started preparing this. But it does say in verse 25, it says, large crowds, it usually says when I read my Bible, large crowds were following Jesus, but it says here, large crowds were travelling with Jesus. How about that? Large crowds travelling with him. Now that's significant because he was going from town to town. They were going with him. Therefore, they were his groupies. Again, Jesus heals, Jesus miracles, Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus the other. And we're with Jesus. And those people he was talking to his groupies. And he had some hard words for his groupies. And it's always worth thinking who Jesus is talking to. Because as a school teacher as well, that's making some really funny noises. Don't know if we can switch it off. As a school teacher, I talk to my class and I address the class as a whole, but actually I'm saying different things to different people. Because when it gets to revision time, to the lazy people in the class, I say words like, hey, you lazy people, you need to pull your finger out, you need to work hard, you need to revise. Because if you don't revise, you're going to get your results in August and you are going to be so disappointed. You will not be able to look at yourself in the mirror. You will know you've underachieved. You will know you've failed. You know you could have done better. And you will have very few choices of a good job. I say that to a class. I'm aware that in the class there's a whole variety of people, and there's some lazy people who need to hear that message, and there's some people who are working their socks off, and to those people I'm saying, hey, you hard-working, lovely people, you need to just chill out. You need to put your books down. You need to go and watch some TV. You need to be nice to yourselves. Do you see that? I'm talking to a group of people, and I've got different messages for those group of people. And when Jesus was talking to this crowd, he went on the tough stuff. But I think he needed to, because crowds were following Jesus from place to place to place, because they were waiting for him to establish his earthly kingdom. And of course, if he was going to establish his earthly kingdom, they wanted to be there. But I don't think people like that would be counting the cost. You know, if there's a new president and he's on tour, it's easy to follow the president who's on tour and say, yeah, I'm just going to work my way in here and be, make myself known, sort of thing. That's kind of what they're doing. Let's make ourselves known. Hi, Jesus. Hi, I'm here again, Jesus. I'm here again. And this is the message that Jesus had for those people. And it is a message about discipleship. But it's also for us. But if it sounds hard, he was speaking to people because he had to be hard, because they were wannabes. And he had to tell them what it was really about following him. So, this is what he said. And we can have the next slide. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yet even his own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. Hate your mum and dad. Can you do that? Probably. Thank you. Right. We have to establish that when we're reading our Bible, we need to understand what the original hearers would have heard. Otherwise, you cannot apply it to your own mum and dad. The original hearers would have heard a hyperbole. That's a hyperbole. That's an extreme of speech. What Jesus was actually saying is, you need to love me more. Love me more than your mum and your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your family, even yourself. You need to love me more. And he used that extreme of speech to say, hate everybody else. That's an extreme of speech. The original crowd would have had no problem hearing that. We go, Jesus is telling us to hate. Don't worry, he's not. He's telling us to love him more. And things like that help us to understand the Bible when we read it for ourselves. And that's what he wants us to do, read it for ourselves. So, love him first. Also, the original hearers, when Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me, they would have seen, most of them, a crucifixion. Yes, those bad people, they need crucifixion. They would have seen the agony of a crucifixion. And Jesus says to them, carry your cross. And they would have known that meant all the things like that a cross would have meant self-denial, complete dedication, willing obedience, rejection, suffering, death. They would have known it meant all of those things. In actual fact, he's saying to us today, be prepared to carry a cross. We don't know where it's going to lead, but he wants us to carry our cross. And actually, there's people across the world now who are really suffering. And we put the next slide on. Open Doors. Any of you heard of Open Doors? If you haven't heard of it, follow them on Facebook, get their emails, look them up on Google, www.opendoors.org.uk. Next one. Yeah. Because there's people across the world, our brothers and sisters, who are really suffering for their belief in Jesus. There's over 50 countries in this world which are on persecution alert. People are being put to death for following Jesus. People are losing their jobs for following Jesus, losing their families, losing their kids for following Jesus. But they're still following Jesus. Because they know it's worth it. And it says in Hebrews 13, continue to remember those in prison. That's these sorts of people suffering for their faith. As if you were together with them in prison. Follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook. Google them, get them on your computer, pray please, because these people say the best thing you can do for us is to pray. So being a disciple is hard in a lot of places. Being a disciple is hard here, that we may discover a little bit of rejection for ourselves. But then, we'll just read the rest of this. Jesus says to do the maths. That's the previous slide actually. Jesus says, do the maths. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you've got enough money to complete the tower? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, ha ha, this person began to build and wasn't able to finish. He's telling his groupies there to look at the cost and see if we want to continue. Look at the cost. And look at some of the costs of following him. It's not all easy. It's not all hands in the air, check under your armpits, see if there's any big patches. But it's not all about that. It's about rubber hitting the road. Are we ready for it? Are we ready for it? That's what he's saying. Be ready. Or, he says, suppose the king is about to go to war against another king. Won't he first sit down and consider whether he's able with 10,000 men to oppose the one coming against him with 20,000? Yeah, do the maths there. No. Unless he's got a few nukes. If he is not able, he will send a delegation while the other is still a long way off and will ask for terms of peace. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples. It's hard teaching. He was giving his groupies hard teaching. He says to them, salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It's fit neither for the soil nor the manure pile. It's thrown out. Whoever has ears to hear, let him hear. That's tough, isn't it? Tough, and I always feel unworthy to preach this. But actually, I've got a story about my own life which follows along those lines, because I became a Christian when I was between the ages of 13 and 16. I'm not quite sure at what point. But I gradually understood what it was to be a Christian, is to have Jesus in your heart. He's your Lord, He's your Saviour, you're going to follow Him. Finally, I've got it. I understand that. I'm following Him. But I went off to college. And at college, I was more of a groupie than a follower. Because I went to church, I attended church, but I definitely burnt the candle. In fact, I never got to a morning church service on time. Apart from one time when I was really pleased with myself for getting there on time. It was the day the clocks went forwards. So it was just near the end. Why today? What I had my feet in both camps. I had my feet in the wild college camp, and I had my feet in the God camp. One foot there, firmly planted. And as far as the God camp was going, I thought, I'm going to live for God. I'm not going to get hammered. I'm not going to sleep around. I'm not going to do that sort of thing. So I was pretty solid from that point of view. But in the other camp, in the college camp, I thought I'm going to push it as far as I can. So that was the way I went into college living. And as time went on, I kind of pushed things a bit further and a bit further. Yeah, you see what's coming. And I pushed things a little bit further and a little bit further. Still going on with God. Still going on with the world. And a little bit further. And a little bit further.
So you went further than that.
How far can you go? It was getting awfully uncomfortable. But I was still managing it. And it's like, church was great. I used to go to college, I used to go to church, and people used to say to me, they used to say, Tony, how do you do so well with all the girls? I said, I go to church, mate, there's loads of girls there. Yeah, I was like, that's how I got my mates to come to church. I was quite the evangelist. But anyway, I was drinking, I was sort of going out more, pushing things more, drinking more. And it got to the stage where we had a party in our student house. And it just went beyond stupid. And in the morning, my friend walks down the stairs with a smile on his face. And then one of the lecturers walks down the stairs as well. This is not good. This is not good. And it was like, it went that sort of crazy. And it was just before Christmas. And I come home and I thought, I've got some decisions to make. I either go full out being a Christian, or I give it a miss and go full out sort of partying. I do one or the other. I came home, I gave myself a couple of weeks. I thought, I'm going to think about this seriously, quietly, and reflect on which direction to go on. Didn't really take much working out after things I'd seen at the party at college. I thought, right, nailed on Christianity now. I'm not going to mess about. I'm not going to go halfway. I'm going to nail on. I am going to, from now on, seek first the kingdom of God. And that's on there somewhere. And that's what it's all about. It's about putting Jesus first. I thought, I'm going to put Jesus first. I'm not going to get into relationships I shouldn't be getting into. I'm not going to drink myself to the brink of not getting drunk. Well, really, I am drunk anyway. I'm going to put Jesus first. I'm going to start living for Him. I didn't have a clue how to do it, but I thought, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to live for Him. I know that's what I need to do. And actually, I told God that, and He knew that I didn't know what to do. But to cut a long story short, I actually came out of that college situation. I knew after 3 months I should have left. I got a bit ill. I was going to have to retake the year. I thought, I'm not retaking this year. I don't even like hospitals. It was a physio course. I thought I just need to reset my course, which is something I should have done a long time ago. I come back to the Isle of Wight. I prayed about what I should do. I got going in the right direction. I got into a right relationship. I ended up getting married to someone absolutely beautiful, who I'm still married to now. If you're watching this, it's like he gave me. I started seeking first His kingdom. I started seeking first His kingdom, and He started giving me the things that I needed in my heart. He knew. And this is the key thing about being a disciple. We seek first His kingdom, and we are not disappointed. It may lead to hardship, it may lead to persecution, it may even lead to death for Him, but we are not disappointed, and we're never disappointed. And do you know, if I could do the same thing again, if I could go back to being 19, 20 years old, I would do it again. And I would do it again. And I would do it again. Because there is nothing better than knowing God. Nothing better than knowing Him. Yeah, in fact, because it's true, there's nothing better than knowing Him in our lives. And we can get lied to. Of course there's better things than knowing God. Fill up your time with this, fill up your time with that, fill up your time with the other, because you can have an amazing time now. Yes, you can. You can know God and you can have an amazing time with Him. Because when we know Him, we become the person that He created us to be. And nothing can rival that. Nothing. It may appear that it can, but nothing rivals the person. Nothing rivals becoming the person that God created us to be. Becoming more like Him. Being filled with all the qualities of God. I said I'm on this journey, I haven't finished it. I'm still on it. But it's an unrivaled journey. And I would do it again. And again and again. And the truth is that the world needs people to be saying that. Because the truth is, there is a heaven, there is a hell. The truth is, Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life, and no one can come to the Father except through me. The truth is, there needs to be people who are going to tell, and not just tell, but demonstrate that to this world. The truth is, God needs those people. He doesn't have a plan B. So not only is it the best for us, it's the best for God, it's the best for His kingdom. He wants to call us to live for Him 100%, whatever the cost. And the cost is always worth it. The cost is worth it in this world. The cost is worth it beyond this world. It's life to the full now. It's life to the full beyond the world. Yes, there's trouble and persecution now, but it's always, always, always worth it. And this is what people on Open Doors say. They said they're not going to change it. They don't want to change it. They're not going to sell out in their faith. They're still going on with God because in their heart it's worth it. It's a journey that's worth it. And it's a journey that I just want to encourage you to come on. And it starts with a prayer. It says, Lord, I want to do this. And it continues with a daily walk with Jesus, just keeping a hold of Him. Because sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult, and it's about keeping a hold of Him. So that's what it's about. I'm going to ask the video to stop now, and I'm going to ask us to stand this morning in prayer, so we can stand together.